This is how you 10x your profit, 10x your skills, and how you 10x your trading with understanding how to read market structures correctly. Now, in the previous video, I asked what you'd like to see in the next video as we go through these markups, and you asked for gold. So we're going to go through gold this week, and we're going to start straight away, okay, on a monthly time frame. But before we do, if you want to take your trading further with supply and demand, check out that profitable trade workshop. There'll be a link in the description, and there'll be a link popping up right now. So on the monthly time frame, we can see straight away, looking at this chart, we can identify we have that bullish bias. Okay, nice strong bullish bias on a monthly indicates this market is very bullish. You would be looking to sell. This would be absolutely suicide at the moment. We are pushing up. We have nothing here to the left that we can even look at the moment. So we go closer into price here, and we'll look at our previous structure break. So we had this push up here in the market. We have this as our previous monthly break. So for a structure, I have this swing low is the push to the upside. Now, I'm not going to draw it, but we'd have an area here of demand. The market could very well now from here pull back into demand for another push up to take out the week high. But we haven't yet started to pull back. We have seen some rejections here. Okay, the last couple of candles, then an indecision candle, okay, inside candle as well, which does suggest we could very well see a push lower here back into these imbalances. Now, if you want to learn more on imbalances, how I look at those and use those in my trading, then there is a full playlist in this channel. It goes through the imbalances. I'll leave a link above now if you want to check out that playlist. So basically on the monthly, we are very bullish potential. Okay, potentially right here, we are topping out and we could see a potential pullback. But if we just see a continuation this month and we close the 50% of this previous wick on that candle, close through, that will indicate to me that market will continue higher to run the previous high. So let's now go down to the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame. So again, we can identify very quickly we're in a strong bullish trend. We did go sideways here for quite some time, and now we've broken out to the upside. So an indication, continuation bullish in this market. So applying the same concepts again, where do we see the breakout? This is the push up. So let me mark this out. This high is broken through right here. That's my weekly structure break. After that, we have a very quick pullback, another breakout here. Now the market has made this swing high into what we class as a sweep. So mark that off as a dotted line. Actually, let's make that a dashed line, and let's make it smaller. Come on, let's make sure this is right. So there's a sweep in the market. Potentially what these sweeps can very often indicate, especially when we see this happening here, where did the move come from? The move came from this low, which pushed up and swept. Very often we see that low get run. It hasn't yet been run yet, so we could see a continuation down to run this low. This is something that I see very, very often, that the low here will get run, which creates that sweep. So what's for the market to yet push lower to run this low into this imbalance here, what's left over, and a small imbalance we have left over here. Now that could create an area where the market wants to push down into and push up for this week high. So at the moment, the market does look like we could potentially fall on the weekly. We are still bullish with structure. That we have a push up, pull back, a breakout, pull back, push up, okay, to this high. So we're looking for a pullback for another continuation to this new high. Like I said, we've got this imbalance. We have a rally base, rally area of demand, areas we can look for price to bounce back up into. So that is the overall picture on our weekly. Again, bit bullish in the market. Okay, no reason to be looking to sell at the moment. Yes, you could have looked for a sell at this sweep area on the lower time frames, but if you're looking at the weekly at the moment, we're very bullish. Let me just mark this up on this imbalance. This is a leftover imbalance that we have here on a weekly. Put it to the back. And what we could see here is a push down into that imbalance around the 50%, sweep this low, then a push up for this high. That is something I'll be watching out for with a continuation of this bullish trend. Now, this is the rally base rally area of demand, and we could come deeper to this area of demand and even reverse this and head lower. But at the moment, we go what we're seeing with price. Now, of course, if you're not sure on your supply and demand technique, not sure how to draw them, there is a full playlist in this channel, which will help you to understand how to use supply and demand. I will leave a link above now for that playlist if you wish to go and watch it. So this is the weekly, bullish as well. Let's go to the daily. Again, the daily, this level we don't really need. That was the sweep area. So we can identify this is the breakout. Okay, on the weekly to the upside, that was a sweep. Now we look at a daily structure, and we'll start marking this out. So in fact, that daily is going to be the same level for a breakout here. And let me just zoom into price at this level. So we had a very small swing high here. So 23624. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we have a very small breakout. So we have a break at this high. Let's make that as a daily structure. And then we have another small break just here. Continuation. We have a swing high just here, another breakout. And then after that, the market then has a reversal of structure here to downside. So that's where we start seeing the daily creating that potential reversal. We have another break of structure here to downside. And then we reverse back bullish. And just quickly going through these structures for you. We have another break of structure here. Okay, that's another valid break of structure. And then after this break of structure, we don't have anything else. So this low becomes my strong area, which gets removed. And you can see we've got some strong momentum candles for the first time. Now what's happening is that's where we see that weekly sweep in the market we saw. Okay, we saw the sweep here on the weekly, which we expect price to want to do what? To run this low at some point. We haven't yet got there, and that's somewhere I expect price to go. Now, when we broke this structure, we have an area of supply here where price, actually, let's grab this drawing tool, an area of supply. Price is pulled back into and to this area of imbalance left over, and we got another break to downside. So we had a nice continuation there. We could have taken a sell understanding this. Now this would have been the low. Okay, let me just mark this back out as a structure. The market held and then we pushed through. Okay, now we've left a new area of supply and this drop, moved sideways, pulled back into the imbalance. And again, we'd have this area of imbalance originally. Now it's pulled back to here and then we've closed through. So what this suggests at the moment is that this high may well be swept. Let's mark this out as a sweep. So we could see again a push up, okay, for the market to run this high as well and perhaps even sweep both of these areas. So what I'm looking at is the market may want to push up, sweep that high and then run for this low. And this is how the markets will manipulate you in and out of those trades. Now, it's all about understanding imbalances and reading those. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there is a full playlist in this channel you should go and check out. So at the moment, if we're looking at price, okay, I am bearish. This is going to be my low. That's going to be my weak low in the market. Well, I want to see price running too. And this would be my strong high. I wouldn't want to see price closing through that high, but a sweep, okay, exactly like we see over here of this high is a valid area. So we had a candle sweeping like this. Is a valid area. We can look for sell back to this low to then run this low that we're looking from this high on that weekly. So on a daily at the moment structure, okay, let's go through it. There's a break of structure here, pull back, a breakout, looking for pullback, looking for continuation. So we are bullish on that weekly, we're bullish on the monthly, but currently we reverse structure on the daily and we're seeing that pullback. And we like to see a continuation of this pullback coming back into that weekly area we saw of the potential imbalances. We also have some daily imbalance here as well, which comes around that area of the weekly. Well, that was that rally base rally. Okay, we're seeing here in the market on a weekly time frame. So what we'll have to do is go down to a 4-hour time frame to better see what's happening here and where the market's potentially got to go. But at the moment, we're bearish, looking for this week low to be run. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So the 4-hour now, let's look at price, and we can see these are daily levels. Okay, it's our daily structure. Now we don't need to go too much into depth here, but we can identify this, the last break to the upside was the 4-hour structure here. The market then has broken this low. We continue to this low. We've then pulled back. Okay, so we had this swing low, nothing here. We pulled back, and we then believe we just about closed on with that, closed on that bearish candle. We then had this swing high, but the market is closed back bullish. So we had a shift in structure on the 4-hour briefly. We then closed bullish again. And then you can see quickly we had a reversal back to downside. Now what's happening is price is just accumulating some orders up here. We didn't quite go into this imbalance, I don't believe, but on the daily, obviously there was an imbalance as well. And so we've pushed back down quite strongly here. This then becomes our low for the 4-hour as well. Okay, so it's not just a daily low, it's a 4-hour low. And I will just draw here, this is our last area of supply. And we can see where price came into, let's mark that off as a 4-hour zone. We can see price pulled back into to the pip to where the supply zone starts, and then we dropped off heavily. We could draw a trend line here. We had this trend line going up, and we can see where price dropped back down to that trend line, tried to push back up. We held at this first imbalance just here in the market, and then we've just wicked through once more on that bearish candle, and we've pushed through that trend line, continue lower. So anybody who likes to use trend lines, myself, I don't use them that much, but you can see how price was being held at this trend line, and then we broke through. But look, markets come back up, retested that trend line from below. Now, very often, I know many of you will be looking at the market breaking through, pulling back to that trend line, continue back lower. Okay, but the moment, like I said, if we went back to that daily quickly, on a daily time frame, it looks like the market may want to, okay, head back up higher to at least run this swing high and perhaps this high before we see any reversal back lower. So on the 4-hour time frame, okay, just like we can see on that daily time frame, we are still bearish. What we're looking for now is price. Let's remove this trend line now and this imbalance. We're looking for price to still run lower, to run this 4-hour week and daily week lows here, just to run those through with a continuation of that trend. Now, we do have within here, okay, this internal break of structure where we've got this area of imbalance left over, which is a great area. And if we just mark off from this high to this low, we'll see we're above inside our premium prices here on this major swing. Then we have this area here, which is more of a fractal swing. Price is already back up now into that 50% area above, into the premium area. So into this area of imbalance and reversal, and around about the 50% area will be a great area to look for a trade. But we could just simply see here another sweep of this high, okay, pushing into that imbalance here, pushing into that imbalance for a drop back to downside. That's what I'm seeing at the moment on gold. Now, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, if there is a pair of choice you want to see in the next video, then make sure to drop your comment below this video. Let me know what pair of choice you want to see coming up in the next video. And if you want to take your trading to the next step with supply and demand, don't forget to check out that Profit Trade workshop. There'll be a link popping up at the end of this video, and make sure you watch the next video in this series. If there isn't another video at the end, make sure you go and watch one of those playlists.